My name is Ashima Ananda, and I have written a book called Charging Your Chakras, a practical guide to chakra exploration. I've also written a companion card deck with all of the different chakras and all of the information, sometimes opaque information about maybe where it is in your body, what number it is, what it means. I have 3 cascading definitions, and then on the back I have a long form meditation with all the instructions, the words that you can use. It's just a really terrific resource if you're looking to build your meditation practice. They are all available on ashimaananda.com. So in these 5-minute videos, there we go, I am going to dive in to the chakra system, and specifically today we are diving into Svadhisthana. Last time we talked about Svadhisthana and we discussed the first definition, and that is I feel, that dwelling place, that place you can go to ascertain how you feel. We talked about how feelings are sometimes minimized, but how important they are to directing the steps you take for your own life. So what I ended up with last time was discussing one of my practices. About 15 years ago, I developed a practice for myself because I wanted to know how I felt. And so I decided to ask myself every day, how do you feel? And in the beginning, I couldn't answer myself. So I kept asking and I kept asking. And I had a goal really of about 100 times a day. I would ask myself, how do you feel? And I wanted to answer. Oftentimes, I would not have an answer. And then it sort of morphed into, it grew into, oh, I feel happy today. I feel sad today. So I was gaining access to how I felt. But it was definitely a process that I was moving through. So day after day, month after month, year after year, I trained myself to ask myself, how do I feel? And I started getting some more sophisticated answers. And with those answers, I was then able to say, I am unhappy doing this. I don't want to be doing this anymore. This is not the direction I wanted to go. Or, wow, somehow something here is really working. And I felt more in control of my life. I could decide my steps. I could take the steps I wanted to take based on how I felt. But until I gained access to how I felt, it was virtually impossible, mostly because I didn't know. And my philosophy is, if I don't know how I feel, I don't know much. And this is controversial, I know. However, I cannot control anyone else's. I can't control anyone else. I can barely control myself. And frankly, I can only control in my own body and mind and heart how I feel. So with that, armed with that knowledge that I know that I can control how I feel, I embarked on a practice, and I am still practicing with it, and I am still gathering the data. I invite you to maybe do the same, do the same, a similar or the same practice. Design it for yourself. How do you feel? How do you feel? Happy, sad? How do you feel? And start really mining the answer. Don't allow yourself to just say, oh, I'm good, and move on. That I don't think that's helpful. I don't think that's an entrance into Dharma, into our big S self. I think mining that is how we're going to find ways of being that bring us the feeling and maybe even satisfaction, whatever you are looking for in your own world. How you feel is going to directly influence that, and how much attention you pay to how you feel and how much you hone those emotions, the knowledge of those emotions. That, I think, is what will bring us into an alignment that brings us into where we want to be. And I think you all know that I've said many times, this is a long journey. This is, in fact, it really is only journey. And then you have the next logical step, and then more journey, and then the next logical step. But how do you get to the next logical step? And oftentimes that's about, how do I feel? Let's go to that second definition on the card, where we experience connection to our inner truth. And I think that's what we were just talking about. How do we find connection to our inner truth? Let me see how much time I have. Oh, just 11 seconds. Next time, I'm going to read that third definition, and then I'm also going to get into the mantra, meditation for Svadhisthana. There we are. I'll get into the meditation for Svadhisthana, because maybe asking yourself how you feel every day isn't going to work for you. But maybe in a quiet 10-15 minute meditation, you can gain access to where you want to be to give you the data that you need. Because again, everything we need lives inside of us. Sending positive energy out to all beings everywhere. Namaste. The light in me recognizes, honors, and loves the light